Do you remember when we all laughed at him? We called him a robot. We made memes about his haircut, the way he drank water, and his awkward, lifeless smile. We watched him burn tens of billions of dollars on a virtual reality project that looked like a video game from the 1990s, and we thought it was the end. We thought the boy genius had finally lost his mind. But in 2026, the laughter has completely stopped. Mark Zuckerberg has orchestrated the most terrifying and brilliant corporate comeback in the history of Silicon Valley. He didn't just survive the hatred of the public, the attacks from the government, and the mockery of his rivals. He transformed himself. From the nerdy coder in a gray hoodie to a physically imposing, unapologetic tech warlord who controls the reality of 3 billion people. Today, we are going to look at the psychology, the ruthless strategies, and the dark evolution of the man who quietly built an empire while we were busy making memes about him. This is the true story of Mark Zuckerberg's revenge.
To understand the Mark Zuckerberg of 2026, you have to understand the core of his personality. He is, above all else, a hacker. And a hacker's primary motivation is to find vulnerabilities in a system and exploit them for total control. When he started Facebook and his Harvard dorm room, he wasn't trying to connect the world out of the goodness of his heart. He was building a database of human psychology. There is a famous leaked instant message from his early days where he called people who trusted him with their data dumb fucks. That ruthless, cold calculation has never left him. It was merely hidden behind a public relations strategy. He understood before anyone else that human attention was the most valuable commodity on the planet. While other companies were selling software or hardware, Zuckerberg was harvesting human behavior. He realized that if you can map the social graph, who likes who, what makes them angry, what makes them click, you can print infinite amounts of money. As his platform grew, so did his ruthlessness. He adopted the motto, move fast and break things, and he broke a lot of things. He broke the traditional media industry. He broke political systems. He broke the mental health of an entire generation. But from a purely business perspective, his execution was flawless. When he saw that mobile was the future, he pivoted the entire company. When he saw a threat, he bought it or copied it. He bought Instagram for $1 billion, a deal that is now considered the greatest robbery in corporate history. He bought WhatsApp for $19 billion. When Snapchat refused to be bought, he cloned their features and crushed their growth. He built a monopoly so absolute that it terrified regulators. He was the undisputed king of the social internet, a modern-day Caesar ruling over a digital Rome. But kings always face rebellions. The turning point came in 2018 with the Cambridge Analytica scandal. The world suddenly realized that the fun app they used to share baby photos was actually a massive surveillance machine that was being used to manipulate elections. The public turned on him. Politicians dragged him before Congress. He sat there in a suit that looked too big for him, answering questions from senators who didn't even understand how the internet worked. He looked pale. He looked robotic. The media declared that the era of Facebook was over. The brand was toxic. Young people were fleeing to TikTok. Apple introduced privacy changes that cost his company $10 billion in ad revenue in a single year. The empire was bleeding. Wall Street was panicking. Any normal CEO would have stepped down. They would have taken their billions and faded into obscurity. But Zuckerberg owns the majority voting shares of his company. He cannot be fired. He is a dictator in a corporate suit, and a dictator does not surrender. Instead of stepping down, he made the most insane gamble in business history. He changed the name of the company to Meta and announced that he was going to build the Metaverse. He committed to spending $10 to $15 billion a year on a virtual reality world that nobody wanted. The stock price collapsed. He lost hundreds of billions of dollars in personal net worth. The media called it the biggest unforced error in tech history, but they missed the underlying strategy. Zuckerberg wasn't building the metaverse because he liked virtual reality. He was building it because he was tired of being a tenant in Apple and Google's houses. He realized that as long as his apps lived on iPhones and Androids, Tim Cook and Sundar Pichai could destroy his business with a single software update. He needed to own the hardware. He needed to own the operating system of the future. The metaverse was a desperate, multi-billion-dollar prison break. While the world was distracted by the metaverse, something else was happening to Mark Zuckerberg personally. He was undergoing a radical physical and psychological transformation. He started training in mixed martial arts. He got shredded. He started posting videos of himself fighting, surfing with an American flag, and wearing gold chains and oversized t-shirts. He leaned into the memes. When Elon Musk challenged him to a cage match, Zuckerberg didn't back down. He replied with "Send me location." It was a masterclass in rebranding. He shifted his image from a creepy robotic data thief to a tough, unapologetic tech bro warlord. This wasn't a midlife crisis, it was a calculated projection of power. In the world of tech billionaires, perception is reality. By transforming his physical body, he signaled to his employees, his investors, and his enemies that he was ready for war. He declared the year of efficiency, firing tens of thousands of employees and stripping away the corporate bureaucracy. He became ruthless again. And then came the AI revolution. When OpenAI launched ChatGPT, everyone thought Microsoft and Google would rule the future. But Zuckerberg played a card that shocked the entire industry. He took his company's incredibly powerful AI model called Llama and gave it away for free. He open-sourced it. This was a strategic nuke dropped directly on the business models of Sam Altman and Elon Musk. Why would anyone pay for a premium AI from OpenAI when they can get a world-class model from Meta for free? Zuckerberg realized that if he couldn't win the AI race by selling it, he would commoditize it. By making AI free, he destroys the profit margins of his competitors while ensuring that developers around the world build on Meta's ecosystem. It was the ultimate hacker move. He burned down the enemy's village to protect his own castle. Now, in 2026, look at the board. The stock has recovered to all-time highs. The open-source AI strategy has made Meta the backbone of the developer community. And those virtual reality glasses that everyone laughed at? The Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses are everywhere. They are sleek, they look normal, and they have an AI assistant built into them. He successfully bypassed the iPhone screen. He put his cameras and his microphones directly onto the faces of millions of people. He is capturing reality in real time. The metaverse wasn't a cartoon world. It was augmented reality, perfectly blended with the physical world. He played the long game and he won. The rivalry between him and Elon Musk has become the defining corporate battle of the decade. While Elon is chaotic, unpredictable, and constantly fighting political wars on X, Mark is disciplined, focused, and executing flawlessly. Elon bought Twitter to control the conversation. Mark launched Threads to capture the refugees escaping Elon's chaos. It is a battle between two completely different philosophies of power. Elon wants to be a superhero, Mark wants to be an emperor. And history shows that emperors usually outlast superheroes. Mark is fascinated by Augustus Caesar, the Roman emperor who brought peace through absolute, unquestioned power. He even styled his new haircut after him. This is not a coincidence. He views himself not as a CEO, but as a historical figure shaping the destiny of human connection. The frightening truth about 2026 is that we are more dependent on Mark Zuckerberg than ever before. We communicate through WhatsApp, we share our lives on Instagram, we argue on Threads, and now we look at the world through his smart glasses. He has built a digital infrastructure that is indistinguishable from society itself. We hate him, we mistrust him, but we cannot live without him. He has designed a trap so comfortable that we lock the door ourselves. So the next time you see a picture of Mark Zuckerberg smiling, don't think of the awkward college kid in the hoodie. Think of the man who survived a global backlash, rebuilt his company from the ground up, and outsmarted the smartest people in Silicon Valley. He absorbed the hatred of the world and used it as fuel. He didn't just optimize his algorithms, he optimized himself. In the game of digital thrones, many kings have fallen, but the hacker from Harvard is still sitting at the head of the table. He didn't just build the matrix, he is the architect. Let us know in the comments, do you trust Mark Zuckerberg with the future of AI and augmented reality? Who do you think would actually win in a cage fight, Mark or Elon? Subscribe to Daily Optimization for more untold stories of the people who rule our world.